What's up, y'all? Welcome back. 88 Fitness Live every Sunday, 6 a.m. If you're watching us live right now, it's Saturday because we're on location up in the mountains, as you can see. Beautiful mountains of West Virginia here at Snowshoe. So we'll be driving home tomorrow. That's why we're filming today. All right, so today we'll talk about what's more important, diet or nutrition. The age-old debate that's been around forever.
Absolutely. I love this question, and it actually came from one of y'all. So we love it when our subscribers ask questions and interact. It generates great content, interactive content to go through. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. We're here to help.
Absolutely.
So if you want help on anything fitness related, leave us a comment.
All right, so before we kind of get into answering the question right away, you guys know by now we're going to break it down into different pieces. So with that being said, let's start off with the benefits of nutrition and diet. So first things first, you can train hard all day long, but if the nutrition's not on point to support the goal, whether it be weight loss or gaining muscle, you're not going to achieve optimal results.
Yep. You're cheating yourself. You might get results, but you're not going to get them as fast or as easy.
Right, absolutely.
If you're eating the right nutritious food.
And we see this all the time. So athletes will be going crazy at the gym, putting the time in, putting the hard work in, but their diet is atrocious. And what do you know? They look the same year after year, if not worse.
Yes.
So absolutely, you gotta eat for the goal that you have and quality food at that. Otherwise, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had countless clients, overweight, that kill themselves in the gym. I mean, literally, they're killing themselves. They're working harder than most.
Right.
But they just can't push the plate away. They're literally looking for food from the gym parking lot. Right after they just killed themselves with the workout, they're literally going, oh, McDonald's, Arby's, biscuits, gravy, hey, whatever.
You know what I see all the time? There'll be like a Planet Fitness, and right next door there's a Smoothie King, and they're like, oh, I'm eating like fruits and vegetables in my smoothie. Yeah, but you're eating a lot of sugar and other things. And then to his point, there's usually a Burger King or a McDonald's in the same parking lot. So yeah, you definitely don't want to put that hard work in and then pull right through the drive-thru. Same thing if you're trying to lose weight and you're eating a caloric surplus because you're not tracking how much you're consuming, you're not going to lose weight, or at least not as quick as you could or as well as you could. And that's where we get to like the nutrition matters, because you're not going to achieve optimal results if something's amiss there.
Absolutely.
Body for life.
So if you were around back in the late 90s, early 2000s, you remember Body for Life, believe me.
I was a baby, I don't know.
Bill Phillips wrote the book, and basically the book says, if you work out, if you're training hard, you are cheating yourself if you're not eating nutritious foods. Your body needs, not wants, needs those nutritious foods to recover, to repair, to build the muscles. If you're not doing it, you're cheating yourself. And at that point, when you are training, it's a need.
Yeah.
It's not a want.
Absolutely.
You need those nutritious foods to recover and gain.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've seen people that aren't feeding their bodies and they are just hammering at the gym, and over time that leads to illness, injury. So it's not good for longevity, sustainability, and just, livelihood.
You look the same.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to the gym and work out to look the same.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to improve.
Absolutely. All right, so that's kind of the nutrition side. Let's talk about the training side.
Training.
So, I've never seen food make you strong unless you're lifting sacks of potatoes. So with that being said, you have to work out. You have to train to stimulate muscle growth.
Yes. You're not making muscles by any food you're eating at all. You're recovering from the food you're eating. The stimulus, the damage, the trauma is done in the gym while you're training. It's not done in the kitchen. If you want muscles, if muscles is the goal, the gym is number one.
Yeah, I mean, remember our hypertrophy live session that we did? You need to create that metabolic stress, fatigue, and then damage of the muscle tissue in order to get it to grow. So you absolutely have to train, and you absolutely have to train hard. Absolutely.
Stimulus and stress isn't going to do it. trauma is what you're going
Right.
to create.
So food plays a part, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to gain muscle, you still have to do the work. Same thing with losing weight. I mean, if you want to lose weight, you're going to have to put some of that cardio in. It's work, it's exercise. So don't discredit that for sure. All right, so one thing, and this is really fun, I wanted to go into some common fitness beliefs or social media trends and traps, things that you hear people say all the time, and whether they're true or not, we'll kind of get into that. So number one, and I love this one, I hear it all the time, calories in, calories out, that's all that matters.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on that one, James?
So, I mean, there is some validity to that if the goal is just to lose weight. However, if you're training and you want muscles,
Right.
eating M&Ms all day is not going to get you the same results as eating
Right.
chicken and rice, even if it's the same calories.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, when people are kind of have that mentality or eating that way, they're more worried about the caloric aspect of the food they're eating, not the nutrient. And no matter what your goal is, you should always be eating nutrient-dense foods. I mean, for general health, for muscle growth, even weight loss, you want to make sure you're getting all the daily nutrients and things that you need. And if you're on that Big Mac or M&M diet, you're for sure not going to get that.
Good, better, best.
Yeah.
You can do a heck of a lot better than eating M&Ms all day, even if it fits your macros.
Yeah, and with that being said, I will at times tell some of my competitive athletes, if it fits your macros. A lot of times when they're dieting for long periods of time, you need to have a little bit of grace and flexibility. So I'll tell them, if they really want that piece of cake or that whatever it may be, M&Ms,
Yeah.
I might tell them, okay, if it fits your macros, but I want you to realize there's good, better, best.
Mhm.
What is your competition doing? They're doing best.
Yep.
So if you still think it's worth it, from a mental aspect for you to eat that right now so you can carry on and get going, okay, let's do it and move on. But good, better, best, if it fits your macros, may not be the best kind of concept or saying there.
True. And there's a time and a place for everything. There are times to eat M&Ms, don't get me wrong. Just not all day long.
Yeah, one thing too with calories in, calories out, that's not factored in there is things like genetics. Do you have a fast metabolism where maybe you can get away with that?
Yeah.
Or do you not? Is there hormonal imbalances that might prevent you from losing weight? You might say, hey, I'm only eating my 1,500 calories like you said, Camille, but I'm not losing weight. And that could be because there's some hormonal aspect. And a lot of times you can control or help improve that through the nutrient-dense foods that you're eating. So that's definitely something to take into consideration.
Good point.
What's another one, James?
You are what you eat. That's another good one. 80-20 rule. You can't outrun a bad diet.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this already with the overweight clients coming in and busting their butt in the gym, but they just can't push the plate away. There's your proof. You can't outwork out
Absolutely.
a bad diet.
I mean, even with clients that eat well during the week and then kind of let themselves go on the weekend, one of the things that you'll notice is that if they accidentally consume too much in that 2-3 day period on the weekend, well, then all of a sudden they're going to gain weight. And then,
It stays.
yeah, it'll stay. I mean, even if maybe they're able to get it back off during the week, they do it again. And it's just this hamster wheel where, hey, Camille, not losing weight. It's like, okay, well, there's something amiss going on in the weekend. You're, at a caloric surplus or not eating the right things. So you keep resetting that clock. And I see it all the time, for sure.
Definitely. Can't outwork out a bad diet.
No,
you can
never.
try, but you're not going to do it.
So another one I hear a lot is eating fat makes you fat. That's a great one. I mean, just walk around the grocery store and look at how many fat-free items you can buy. I mean, everything from salad dressings to cookies. I mean, you name it, there's a fat-free version out there. There's an entire industry that has made tons of money on this one.
Yes, and fat is not what makes you fat. It's the excess calories. I
Right.
don't care if it's coming from carbs, protein, or fat.
Absolutely.
Any three of those, if you're excess calories, you're going to gain fat.
Yeah, I mean, I think in your mind, especially if you know anything about macronutrients, you're like, okay, 1 gram of fat, 9 calories. 1 gram of protein or carbs, 4. So right there, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to eat all carbs and protein and get rid of fat because I can eat more of the carbs. Like, heck yeah. But what happens when you're trying to lose weight and you pull out all your fat?
You stop losing weight.
We see it all the time. Clients will come to us.
Yep.
They'll be like, I'm not losing weight, I'm not losing weight. And the moment we start to peel that back and look at what they're consuming, we're like, wow, you really aren't eating any fat. And that's exactly what's happening there.
Yeah. Again, over the years, I've had a lot of overweight clients come to me and say, I'm eating 0 fat. And I go, let me see your food log. You're full of it.
Right.
But I'll be dang, going through their log, they got zero fat. In order to lose fat, you need fat.
Absolutely.
If you're not eating fat, your body's going to hold on to fat.
So
It's
yeah.
that simple. Healthy fats mostly,
Yeah.
but you need fats.
Absolutely. So just eat balanced macronutrients.
Yeah.
Like in excess of any one in particular, you're gonna gain weight. It's you want to be healthy. You want to have balance. Absolutely. All right. Here's another one for you. My muscles are gonna turn to fat if I don't work out. How many people have heard that one? I hear it all the time.
All the time.
And so, yeah, that one's not true. That's not true at all. I see why maybe people think that's true, but that one's not true at all.
It's biologically impossible. Your muscle cells will not convert themselves into fat cells. That doesn't happen. It's not possible. What's happening when you stop workout, your muscle cells shrink
Absolutely.
and your fat cells grow. They don't turn into fat.
If yours are, I want to know because you're a scientific marvel.
That's man.
But no, James is 100% right. So that's what's happening. Their muscles are shrinking, and usually, if you stepped away from training, the person's also not really focused on diet. So maybe they're eating more than they normally do. So their fat cells are growing. So muscle shrinking, fat growing. Yeah, all of a sudden, the shirt's going to be loose on the arms, tight on the belly. So
Even if you're eating the same amount,
right.
if you stop working out, there's that whole window of burning calories
Yeah.
that you just stopped.
Absolutely. All right, another one. It's kind of along the same lines. Abs are made in the kitchen. I mean, I even say this one too, and yes, there is some truth to this one. You have to be at an appropriate body fat level in order to see the abdominal muscles.
Yep.
So that means, you got to diet down, you got to lean out, have low body fat in order to see them. But on the counter side to that,
They are muscles and they need to be developed. We've had clients diet down and they just got a nice flat
Yeah.
stomach but no abs.
yeah, they're like, Camille, where are my abs? You said if I just got lean, I would see them. It's like, oh, well.
So it's like
They're
any
not
other
there.
muscle out there. You have to work it, you have to develop it.
Absolutely.
And if you're not progressively overloading your abs, you're not going to develop them.
Yeah, I think a lot of females in particular, sometimes they're afraid to go all out training those abs because they don't want to grow wide or grow out. But again, if you've dieted it down and they're not there, then you absolutely have to work them. They're like any other muscle in your body. So.
Yes. And you can have the best six pack in the whole world. If it's covered in fat, you're not going to see
Right.
it.
And genetics play a part in that too. One, in getting that lean to be able to see them, and two, the shape and what your abs will look like once you are. So, all right. So those are all the common fitness beliefs or things you see on social media. I'm actually curious if you have other ones. Drop us a line in the comment section. I'd love to see those and talk about them. Yeah, there's definitely some good ones out there. All right. So let's move into kind of our thoughts on which one are more important, nutrition or training.
Gotta pick one.
Only one.
What's more important? Go.
All right, I'm going to go first this time, and I'm going to say it's training. Absolutely. What do you think about that?
I have to concur. If the goal is to build muscle, training is more important. You're not stimulating any muscles
Right.
with anything you're eating, anything you're cooking, anything you're prepping. All that's recovery from the damage you did from your training. And I'm going to quote Menser. How many guys out there are overnourished?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, these cats are eating 400 or 500 grams of protein a day, completely unnecessary, but they're doing it
Right.
and they aren't making gains for nothing because they're not busting their
Absolutely.
butt in the training, not progressively overloading the training. Majority of people are overnourished,
Absolutely.
but they're not making gains because they're not putting in the effort.
I mean, society in general, outside of even just weightlifters or bodybuilders, are overnourished. Absolutely. So I agree with James. Like, get into the gym, train hard, create that stress, fatigue, that damage, and you're absolutely going to make gains.
Nutrition's important, extremely
Yeah.
important. But if you have to pick one,
Yeah. Yeah, and James is right. Nutrition is important because when you think about it, think of how many times an average person goes to the gym a week. It's probably 3 to 5 times, but think of how many times you eat a day. So you're probably eating 3 to 5 meals a day, which means you have more opportunities to do the right thing or do the wrong thing.
yeah,
So nutrition absolutely matters.
that's what makes it harder too.
Yeah.
Because you're just consistently eating. You're not going to go a day without eating, right?
Right.
And you got to consistently
Well, I hope
do the
not.
right thing. You got to consistently eat the right
Right.
things. Hopefully they taste good, but they don't always taste good. But you're doing it for function. You're doing it for
Right.
recovery. That's why
Absolutely.
you eat right.
So in terms of what my recommendation is that, you know, both are important. You want 100% in the training, you want 100% in the nutrition, and there's a third part, you want 100% in recovery. And you need all 3 of those things.
Thank you, Mr. Yates.
Yep, I think Dorian Yates said that, Mike Menser said that.
Yeah.
So all 3 are equally important. So
Good, better, best.
Yeah.
Do your best on all aspects, and you'll get the best results. If you're doing good on
Yeah.
all aspects, you'll get good results, but they won't be the best.
yeah, so it all comes down to what you want most. But thank you guys for that question. This was a great live topic to talk about. Again, we would love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Drop us a line. Let us know. Absolutely. All right.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We're here for you. If you got a question, like I said, we'd love to help. Just post it up and we'll get to it.